good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're going to be looking at VOSIS Pro. It's a photosynthesis. But first, let's kick off with continuing the featured artist of this week, the Chandler Brothers. This is Run to the Sun. Let's do it.
Funny how time slips away. I wake up to a sunrise almost every day. Got the sun in my face, wind in my hair. Gotta keep on moving, let's get on out of here. The road is all that's left in front of me. The horizon's all I see. Sun in my face, wind in my hair. And now these two wheels will just take me there. Wasn't a mistake when I took you for a ride. Wasn't a mistake when I showed you my good side. Remember that night in Vegas when I tried to hold your hand? You just smiled at me and said, catch me if you can. The road is all that's left in front of me. And you're 3,000 miles away. I'll keep on riding till I find you again. Because tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's another day. The road is all that's left in front of me. And the horizon's all I see. Sun in my face, wind in my hair. And tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's another day. Keep on riding.
Damn straight, I want those sliding shoes too. The Chandler Brothers. The joys of green screen. You can make yourself slide along roads. Man, aren't the Chandler Brothers the happiest rock and roll band in the world? So that was the Chandler Brothers, Run to the Sun, rocking along. You know what? They just look like they're having such a good time. And that's the most important thing. You got to be having fun. And it's a great song. And we love the Chandler Brothers. Awesome stuff. Welcome to the show, everybody. It is How to App on iOS. My name's Jade. We look at apps every day and stuff, make music, talk about mental health and well-being, have an interview, which we've got back this week. And also on the weekend, I bring out the wheel, like we will do again this week for a live wheel karaoke show. Man, every time I start this show since catching the plague and getting over it, every time I'm speaking fine, and then as soon as the show goes live, I've got a frog in my throat. It's weird. It's absolutely bizarre. Hope you're all doing well. Let's say hello to the folks in the chat, and we're going to get down and we're looking at a really weird and out there app today. It is, it's been a journey learning how to use it. And hopefully I can show you, yeah, because that's my job. Hello, Sean Chandler. Good to see you. Thomas Christ, Russ8889, Dave Collette. Hello to you. Audible Video, the Goober himself. The Goober is in the house. Joe and Barry Glenn, who are having some trouble with their iPad at the moment, running out of storage. I know how you're feeling because I've had to sit there with Russ and deal with it with Russ on Clubhouse, and that was hard work. So hopefully you can get that sorted. Gary Hubbs is here. Wolfstone Studio. Hello to you both. Let's continue. Hello, Suzanne. Who else do I got here? I think I've got everyone. Have I got everyone? Kim Harden Hudson. Did you get something in the mail today? I saw you post something on Discord. Just quickly, I didn't get to read it because I was just kicking off the show. Hello, Mars Capone. Good to see you, mate. I hope you're doing well. And I think I got Jenny. Hello to you too. Good to see you, Jenny, as well. You did. Kim Harden Hudson got something in the mail. She got some what do we call it? It's a cool mail. Hi, I am Stephen Tucker. Hope you're well. Brad Examples here too. Thank you all for being here. Let's kick off by jumping over to the price drops. Oh, we'll do this first because I can announce right now the interview we have this week. Who is it this week? It is Weltenkinder will be on the show, The Wild World of Weltenkinder. So he will be joining us. We'll be talking about all of his cool music that he makes, and I think that's going to be really, really awesome. So I hope you can join me for that, which is in a couple of days' time. Awesome stuff. And I can tell you, the week after, we've got something special for you. We got an evening with Brad Example. Oh, yeah, it's coming up. But Weltenkinder this week, so make sure you join us for that. But Brad Example will be joining us the week after for trust me, it's going to be wild. All right, shall we do some price drops? I need to go here, don't I? Boom. What do we say, hippie? Boom. Exactly. So price drops. There's a few things that have been added here. And guess what? Look at the top of the list there. There is a 4Pockets app. Look, Evolver FX and a few down as well. DigiKeys, TalkWorks, NewRack. And I engaged in quite a few emails with Paul from 4Pockets yesterday. And I'm sure there will be many of you, if you left emails with Paul over his time when he was in hospital, having major surgery. You may have got an email back yesterday as well, as I know many people did. He did his best to try and get back to people, and he's doing really well. Everything's healing okay. He's got a bit of sore leg, even though the operation was up here, but the leg's the sore thing. So we wish Paul all the best, and hopefully he's back at it soon. But it's good to see him starting to get into the groove, and I'm sure there was a lot of emails waiting for him as a very popular developer. Hello, Sai. Effing good to see you, my friend. Hello, iOS Music Man Lee. I hope you are well. Bleece have a whole bunch of apps on sale too, so it looks like they are doing a half price thingy-majig for Bleece Delay, Phaser, Chorus, Saturator, and Flanger, and Reverb Shimmer as well. So, if it's Bleece, it's good, and that's the most important thing. The DigiKeys, so it looks like there's a couple of dollars off for all the 4Pockets apps. So getting quick, Syntronic is free from $14.99. Does come with in-app purchases, so be well aware of that. Hey, look, Hammond B3X is dropped from a staggering $129 to an even less staggering $64.99. Man, that's an expensive app. There you go. Everything else we've kind of covered. Hey, if you don't have this thing, this MP3 converter, get it while it's there. It's free. It is worth your while. It does work really well, and it's really small, and it'll help. All right, what are we looking at today? Pray to the gods I can get this one going today. We are looking at VOSIS and VOSIS Pro. What is a VOSIS? A VOSIS is a music synthesizer that is, you make music via your photos and videos. And it's pretty out there. It's pretty cool once you get the grip of it. The one thing I did find was there's not a lot of information on how to use this. So there is a user guide. This is pretty much the user guide, yeah? There you go. That's it right there. That's all I really had to go on. It's not a lot. It kind of tells you the names of things. But yeah, the rest is kind of good luck. So hopefully this show will help people who may have downloaded this. So there are 2 versions of this. There's a free version. There it is. It is absolutely free. You can download it. So it does have some restrictions on it. It doesn't have all of the features that you can use. Like it doesn't have like the LFO kind of thing in it. It doesn't have video. You can't import video and make music with it. It also has like a restriction on when you screen record to record your music. So you only get, I think it's like 20 to 30 seconds. So it's not a lot of time. So the full price for this is $7.99. Those on the Patreon, I do have some copies of OODA to give away this week. And I have 1 copy of this for you guys on the Patreon of VOSIS Pro. So be aware of that. All right, shall we jump in and just do something with it? Good luck. All right, so first what I'm going to do, now this is inter-app audio. I will say this off the bat. I couldn't get it to work. I don't know if that's a problem with it at the moment, so that's one thing. But it's interesting because it's not really it is more of a standalone thing. So I've reached out to the developer, see if we can work out the inter-app audio thing. It is in there, but I just couldn't get it to happen. But sometimes my iPad's different to other people. That happens all the time. So what I'm going to do first is open up AUM, and I'm going to generate some background music for it, just to show it working with a little project I kind of made. So we'll do that. Make sure everything's turned on here. And we're running here. Drum computer, OODA, Zoa, decent sampler. There you go. So let's bring it out of here. Close this. That's gone now. Thanks, AUM, for providing that. Let's have a look and talk about how this works. I'm going to get out of this demo and go to my initial patch here, which I set up. So as soon as I opened it up, I set an initial patch. I hit save, and this is the initial patch. You can see I'm just touching this with my finger. Really, really cool. Hi, Bubba. What's going on? Hope you're well. Yes, that was the Desir album cover audible video. Nice pickup. All right, so what does this do? What exactly does this thing do? So you can import a photo, you can import a video, and you can import, or you can turn on your camera and have a live camera happening at the same time. You can't have them all at the same time, one or the other. So you can have a camera running, plus while the camera's running, you can record. And I'll show you up the top here, you have an image. So here's where you import an image, import a video, turn on your camera, or hit record. Now you've got these little info buttons up here. This just gives you a little bit of information on how to use the app. This takes you to the website where the user guide is, all that kind of stuff. Now over here, there's a little arrow on this pane. So you've got two of these panes here. And if you hold down, you can move these panes around wherever you want. Also, if you want to get rid of the panes, you just double click and they're gone. There's one over here as well. So you can move this around as you please, but if you want to get rid of it, it's gone. Now, when I first downloaded this, I was like, well, that's good. How do I bring them back? How do I bring them back? All right, well, I worked out in the top corner, if you just touch twice, they pop back. Double tap it in the other corner and they come back. Good stuff. Intuitive, so intuitive, it took me about 10 minutes to work it out. I just kept double tapping everywhere. Nice. So now, before I go forward, this not only works on iPad and on iPhone. Some of the controls are a little bit different on the iPhone. Some things are missing just because it's the iPhone and it's smaller. But if you purchase this, guess what? It also... comes on the Mac. So here's my Mac over here. If I open this up, so here it is on the App Store. If you've paid for it, the $7.99 for it, you get it for iPhone, you get it for iPad, and you get it for Mac. Let's open it up on the Mac and show you. There we go. So there it is on the Mac. And if I click my mouse, oops, I've got to have sound on, don't I? Yeah. So it works just as well on the Mac using a mouse. Really cool. So, hey, isn't it interesting how when Apple said they were going to start, releasing iOS apps on the Mac, and everybody was up in arms and crying and going, but all my favorite apps don't work anymore. And there's all this discussion of like, what's the point? Is this going to be stupid? Apple are going to do anything? Have you slowly noticed that more apps that are coming out are working on the Mac as well? So as we move towards, there's more and more cross-platform stuff. Absolutely, Thomas. How did I stop it? That's a good question. The way to stop it is to delete stuff. We'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that. So we'll close out this Mac here and get rid of that. And we'll come back over to the iPad. So... we'll go through the controls so you can see how to stop it. The thing I did to what I worked out myself to really make sure you can stop everything is first, as soon as you open up the app, hit save and save it as an init. So you've got an initial patch that you can always go back to. So when I load something, I can always just kill it by going back to the initial patch. That's how I found the best way to do it. You also have a master gain down here, which you can just turn things down. So if it's getting a bit loud and chaotic, I can just pull down the gain. It'll keep going. You can delete things. There's little crosses up the top, but we'll cover all this shortly. But we'll go back to this init patch. All right, so So up the top here, we've got importing images, videos, your camera, and your record. So when you want to screen record, you can also screen record by doing the old-fashioned way and pulling down from the top right-hand corner and hitting screen record that way. So that works too. All right, now, once you have a photo loaded, so we'll just keep this one here, you can brighten it up so you can actually see what's going on. This has no effect on the actual music making process. This is just so you can see it a little bit better. You also have this, it's like an equalizer button. It can just change the tone of the picture. So it depends on your picture. You've also got like a colorize here. Now, I've found it works better with black and white pictures, but when you import a color picture, it automatically changes it to a black and white picture. So that's really good as well. It does all that for you. So there we go. There's our tone here. Now, this section here is grayed out. This is our playback speed. That will become available to you when you import a video. So you can actually, on the fly, you can change the playback speed of the video. So it would affect like something, if you've got like a drone kind of thing happening on the screen and the video is moving really quick, it would give you a really randomization kind of effect, but you'll understand more of what I mean once we get into it. You've got a reverb mix here, so to mix your reverb with a dry. You've got a reverb decay. Yeah. You've got a BPM. So you can set it to whatever BPM you like. For that first project I had AUM set to... Now, there's no MIDI clock or anything like that to match. So this is where, hopefully, if I can get the Interapp audio working, this would be ideal for that. But I tried it in so many different ways and just couldn't get it to happen. Yeah, I had AUM at 60 beats per minute, and I just had this set at 60 as well. And it seemed to match up okay, it seemed to work. Your master volume is down here as well. So you have a limiter as well. So if things are getting a bit buzzy and distorted, I just keep this limiter on all the time. It just keeps things under control because it can get a bit haywire. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Can get a bit haywire with the sounds. You also have a stereo button. So you'll notice as I'm touching this, everything's in mono. But if I click the stereo, depends where you're moving your finger around on the screen is where things are going to be in your speakers. Also, you have a major and minor key. So nothing really extensive there, just a major and minor. Plus you have all these other notes here. So you have a full spectrum of notes. So you've got a full scale and a major and minor. So that's really cool. You can match things up to other songs you've got going on. We'll put this onto just C for now. Go to C. Leave it on C minor. Let's import a photo. So I'm going to go up here to image. Go to albums and my favorites because I've got a couple of black and white. Look, I've got a photo of Hippie. We can bring Hippie in. We've got Thomas Christ's album, the song Waltz of the Madman. I thought this would be a really good one to bring in because it's black and white. Thomas Christ. Did I say Thomas Christ? I meant Thomas Gillane. Too many Thomases. The Thomases, they're taking over. They're the Borg. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Man, it's early in the morning. Give me a break. Let's try the Hippie one. No. See, the thing is, you really need to experiment with it to find a decent photo. We'll go back to our Desir photo because I seem to get some really good ones out of this. And you'll notice if I change the key, how am I getting sound? Through the iPad. like when I touch it. So like it scans the photo and it's making sound. But we're getting over to this region here where the contrast and everything works similar to a synthesizer, yeah? So this is the first part we've gone through. Now over here, we have our other section. Just give me a sec and open up this. Make sure I've got this happening. So first off, you have a brightness button. I'm going to cover this up here first. So you've got so you've got two methods of playing. You've got touch and add. If I'm set to touch here, this is controlling, all the controls are contextual to what I have it set to. So set to touch, these controls will be working with so me touching the actual screen. Now, if I hold down my finger, you'll notice the square that is on the screen. As I turn down the brightness, the level goes up. So the brightness for the photo is the level. And you'll notice when you move your finger over darker places, the rhythms change to brightness. So brightness is your volume. Sorry. Underneath we have exposure. Now your exposure is a gain boost. So if I hold down, you hear that there's like a little gain boost in there. And you'll notice the picture gets brighter. So it's exposing the photo. So anything that's black, it's trying to get more tonality out of the darker tones by using the exposure. I'm getting there. Trust me, I'm getting there audible. So you can use the keyboard. So there's no exposed MIDI controls. So the way to get MIDI working, and it's the only way, is you have to have your MIDI controller connected and you have to have it turned on before you open the app. If you open the app and then turn on your controller, it won't work. If you turn it on, open the app, then it will auto map to the keyboard like so. So in relation to the keyboard, it is a poly 5 poly synth. So any more than 5 things at a time and it's just going to stop. Okay, so keep that in mind. We'll get back to the controls here, and you can also MIDI map. You can actually MIDI map things. So I can show you here. Let's MIDI map something straight off. To MIDI map, take your finger, hold it down. I will do it to the brightness. So I'm going to hold down on the brightness for about a few seconds, and then that didn't work. Come on. Then let go. Come on. Da, da, da. And you'll see what pops up there. A little Learn MIDI CC. All right. So now I'm going to click on that and now turn a knob, and you have now learnt. So you can do that with all of these sections on here. So you can MIDI map for things like that, but the keys. So there you go. So that's the extent of MIDI mapping. So that's really cool. Because and it's only recently had a major update to add stuff like that. And I'm sure the developer's going to keep adding stuff to it. This thing's been out for about 8 years. And when it first came out, it was really bare bones. And I'm sure a lot of people just was like, what the hell is this? It's kind of stupid. So we're still on touch here, and just bear with me a sec because I'm just making sure I've got all the right. So we've got a blur button, and the blur button is like a smooth. So above 5 is a smooth, and below 5 is a smooth, and above 5 is like a noise. So here we are. This is our blur. So if I hold down, you can see the image blur below, and then it gets really pixelated, really super contrasty. And you get some really interesting textures. Okay, so there's that. God damn. We've got a down sample as well. So a bit crusher, essentially. So you can actually see the image bit crush as you... So it pixelates. Pretty cool, yeah? So that's your bit crusher. Very interesting app. You have a contrast button, just making sure I've got all these things right. So your contrast is a compression, yeah? So it's a compressor. Then we have a threshold, and the threshold is to remove visual frequencies and increase tonality and noise removal. So you get more of a hum in there. And then you've got a high pass and low, so high, low pass. Pretty self-explanatory, high pass, low pass. You also have a tremolo, which is kind of like the LFO setup. And if I turn it up, you'll see it starts flashing. And where we control the actual tremolo is over here. So you've got 16th, 8th, quarter, half, 1, 2. And then you can choose the slider. So you can choose your own rate using the slider. Once you choose the slider, it becomes active underneath. If I go back to an 8th, the slider will become inactive. Below that, you have an octave. You can change the octave down here. So we can go up an octave, down. So you've got 3 octaves either way. And plus, take that into account too, you've still got your notes over here as well, and your major and minor. So that combined with your octaves, you can start to really create some interesting things. Just bear with me 1 second. Where are we? I just want to... So we've also got our intervals. So we've got intervals over here that we can change our intervals. So let's go back to a +2. So as I play my 5 notes, you just notice changing your intervals up will change. So as I change key, get it into a major. What else do we have here? The duration, regions loop duration. So this is when you're in scan mode, which we are currently in. So let's talk about scan mode. And to kick off scan mode, we're going to... so we've also got our famous little ASDA. Do I get the... there's one more thing I was going to do before we got down to here. What am I doing? there's so much to take in from this small amount. So we've got an ADSR here as well. I'll talk about that briefly. So you can change this up just like you would any synth. So, I mean, it pretty much is a synth. Like, all these controls are pretty much like a synth. Let's talk about the scan stuff. And to do that, I'm going to switch from touch, because we've been on touch this whole time, and we're going to go to add. So when you're in add, you can actually draw things into the screen. So I'm going to draw. Well, I've got a crash. That's great. Nice crash there. Whoa, 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 what's going on? It remembered everything that I just did then. Let's remove all these. All right, so I can draw. Oh, we're back on touch. So I can draw something in, and then I can change the shape of it. And you can see at the moment, it's actually moving around and doing its own thing, because we have the step sequencer on. So here's where you can choose a step sequencer. You can just go solo, and it'll just be doing this. You can change the shape of it however you like to take in certain parts of the photo. It moves stereo with where you're moving it around, and you can create multiples of these and start to create some interesting tones. Right. We'll focus on one for the moment. So this one here, you can hear it's just making a solid sound. That's it. And where you change this is your sum. So you've got here sum and scan. When it's sum, it's a solid sound. And when you change it to scan, you can see there's a line now rocketing down super fast. And we can change the speed of this down here with the duration. So this is just going vertically down. We can slow it right down. So now it's moving at a real snail's pace there. You can see it going down. You can also add not only vertical, you can go horizontal. And you can choose horizontal and dual. So dual, both of them at the same time. So getting this really cool stereo thing happening. And here's how really what you can see, what can be achieved with the contrasting of the photos. How cool is that? And again, you can just, while you're on this add section, you can add more of these just by drawing with your finger straight in. And the thing that's really interesting with each of these boxes, as you click between them, you'll notice the settings change on the screen. Over to the left. So everything's relative to the one that you're currently on. And then if I move back to touch up the top, we have a whole different set of settings for the touch screen. So again, you can probably start to see this can get really wild. Think about, like, we'll head back to the add screen. Having something like this in the key of F or in E. I think this covers the whole track. Yeah. taking this one over here. We'll select this one. We'll take this up an octave. And this is where you have a step sequencer as well. So we'll bring this up here, change the size. And you can turn each one down as well. So you've got your brightness. Now we've turned down the long one up to the left. And now we're on this one over here. And here's where our step sequencer is. So up here you have solo, step. And we should be, are we going? Why? Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Step. And now we have our step sequencer running. Now you can, so it's running vertical. You could also change this to dual. So inside the box, you've got a dual lines running across, and you can change the step sequencer to random. And where we find the speed for this is in the duration here. So you can actually start thinking about creating rhythms. And this little drop box down here, so you've got two of these. You've got this one which controls the speed of the sequencer, and the one next to it controls the speed of the lines, the vertical lines that are running inside. I think that's right. God, who knows? So, it's a little bit complex. It's tripping you out? You should have tried how trippy it was learning how to use it, Kim. God. Oh, so let's bring in some reverb. And to remove any of these boxes, I'll zoom in so you can hopefully see it. You can see there's a little X up the top of each box, and you can remove them. So we'll remove this one here. If we go back to touch, now we're back on the keyboard. So what's interesting about this, the way the keyboard works, let's talk about this. I'll turn this down for a second. So the last, I'm pretty sure this is how it works. I'm guessing. I'm probably wrong. Just because there isn't enough info for me to really make sure of this. The last 5 places that I touch on this, so let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, become the places. So when I hit the keys, that the notes actually choose to land, right? So it chooses notes from the keyboard. It's taking the actual notes from the keyboard, from the scale, but where it places them is where the last 5 places were that you placed your fingers on there. So we'll turn this back up. That was interesting. See, sometimes it does catch a note, and all synths do that too. I mean, some of the best synths sometimes lock. There is no, unfortunately, there isn't a kill-all switch, so rebooting it sorts that out. Is it a little bit buggy? Yeah, kind of. It's pretty outrageous and adventurous, I think, to be able to scan photos and stuff. Shall we import a video and see what we can do? What's something good that won't take too long to download? Let's bring in my cat. Let's import the video of my cat. Now, remember, if you're importing a video that is like this, the wrong way, it's going to be sideways. So just remember that. Try and import longer videos. So if I bring this in, now we have my cat in here. And we can speed this up. So now the video is going a lot faster, and you're going to get a lot more interesting things come out of it. Let's draw something in here. That was fun. I haven't had that happen before. So there we go. Maybe we'll try that video again. Let's bring it in again. It could be two. You know what? Let's do this. I think I've got a bunch of crap running in the background. That's never good. We'll kill YouTube as well. Never a good thing to keep a lot of junk running in the background. We'll go to our knit patch here. Bring in Puss one more time. And we'll draw in. And what's interesting about the video, because it's moving around, you're going to get these different kind of tones and things happening. The way it's going to, for example, like using the step sequencer is probably going to create some really weird sounds. We can speed this up a bit. For example, let's show something else. Now we've got my camera running. So as you move around, you're going to get these different tones. It's quite interesting, I think. And you can flip the camera by touching the camera twice, I do believe. So there we go, there's the back. I just think it's interesting as hell, man. It's such a bizarre app. Let's go back to our demo from the start. There we go. So what I'm going to do to go out today is open up the project I had and just show you how easy it is to record using it. So, and what I find is there's probably more bugs that seem to happen when I'm using a MIDI controller plugged in, because it's a new thing that's been added to it. It just seems a bit buggier when the controller's in, but when it's not turned on, it seems just less buggier. So yeah, is there some bugs with it? Yeah, I think so. I think there are, and you've seen that clearly today. There's no way around it, but hopefully that is a thing that gets sorted as things go on. So I'll just wait for Decent Sampler to load, and I'll just show you how easy it is to record something. It goes into your Photos app, and then you can like go ahead and pull the audio from it if you like. That's probably the best way to do it until there's like some kind of solution for inter-app audio, because it does say it's inter-app audio, and you'll see here when I try and add it in here, it just doesn't work. So I'm not even going to bother because it'll just crash. All right, so we've got this hooked up. So again, if I'm going to record, you can actually record by clicking up here, and it's recording. And if I hit stop on the record button, it'll come up here. Where do I want to save it? So I can just hit save video. That'll go straight to my Photos app. Or the other way you can do it is to just pull down, hit record. And it's going to do the same thing. So if I hit stop, so let's close out of it, close out of this, get rid of that, and head over to the Photos app, and there should be 2 brand new videos. So that's weird this time around. So when you record it using the actual internal recording, it won't record anything external like the drums. But if we do it with a screen save, then you're going to get the drums as well, or anything external that you want to add to it. And then you can just split the audio out of it, say like LumaFusion, whatever you want to split your audio out of. So interesting, yeah. Definitely not going to be for everybody. I think, you know, this is a really unique app that's taking technology and taking it somewhere interesting, which I really like these apps. I think the more we need to encourage developers to continue to make these kind of strange and odd apps for iOS, because that's how it really kicked off with iOS. There's so many people who are sitting around going, oh, but I want desktop stuff on my iPad. Yeah, fucking boring. Like, that's cool. But we still need to have the creativity and ingenuity of developers to make stuff that's outside of the box, so you can, make stuff that's totally different. I mean, even just taking those sounds out of here and putting it into something else, glitching it out, putting it through so many other different apps, you can turn this into something completely different, unique, and something you wouldn't find anywhere else. So, at the end of the day, again, though, apps aren't Pokemon. You don't need to collect them all. And if it doesn't suit your needs, fuck it. Only get the things that interest you. So hopefully you're watching this on the replay and you've got something from this that's helped you make a decision on if this is something for you. And if you've looked for instructions for this on the internet, it's a bit hard. But there you go. All right, guys, I'm not sure what's going on tomorrow. I may be doing another show on my new song. I think that's where I'm heading. I've got some new apps to look at, but yeah, the one I have isn't released yet, so, and I don't want to jump the gun with it. I'd rather it be out so everyone can get a chance to have a look at it. And anyway, we're probably going to do that tomorrow. Interview with Welton Kinder. Doing it wrong. Interview with Welton Kinder the day after next, so hopefully you can join us for that. Hope you guys just had a good time watching the show and all that jazz. If you're watching on the replay, leave a comment, do all that kind of stuff. Subscribe, hit the like if you haven't. And you know, there's always super thanks, which is brand new. Guys, do the things that make you happy. Remember, mistakes make you better. And you know what? We'll all rise together. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great one. Bye-bye.